Black Friday sales in full effect. If you want your brand, your business, or your song promoted, hit me up right now to find out how you can get it done for just $49. The email is ogod@hiphopun.com. That's ogod@hiphopun.com.
And you look at going back to what we were talking about with Diddy and all of these other people with this look back window. Diddy had to look at his son's album. He had to look at how far, and what we have to also think about. Ciroc. You know, and this is just pure speculation, but maybe Ciroc said we need somebody to come after him to stop him from coming after us. You never know who's playing in the sandbox. And the people you mainly been in the sandbox with you, it's not some foreign ghost, a foreign entity that sets you up. It's usually somebody right in your inner circle that sets you up. It's never that far away from you. And so what Diddy had to look at, man, my son has an album out. You know, if this thing goes any farther, I could have 15 women coming out against me,
Ooh,
20. Look at how they did Cosby. It started out, and the reason why I said Cosby was a litmus test, and
mhm.
people have to really think about this and go, in order to be different, you got to go deep.
Yeah.
Um, what you got to think about, they said we can't do it the way we did Cosby. When we brought it out against Cosby, we paraded white women out. It was the height of Ferguson. Bob Huber from Philly Magazine and Jeff Zucker, the CNN, the president of CNN, said, "Do not let Ferguson take Bill Cosby out of the news."
Wow.
So it went from Ferguson, but they paraded white women out, nothing but white women. Then people started saying, "I don't believe this. This look racial." I go and do an interview, and I said, "Look, Gloria Allred decided to bring out a lot of salt, but it wasn't believable, so she got some black pepper." So
Right.
they brought out Beverly Johnson, and
Okay.
it made it believable. And everybody started, all these media entities, the big names, Don Lemon, you name it, start calling me, "Andrew, he's done. He's done. There's a
Wow.
black woman out now. He's done." I have all this in text messages from all of these renowned journalists. "Andrew, he's done. Walk away from him. It's a wrap. Beverly Johnson is out." So they learned from Cosby, we can't parade white women out. That's not going to work. That's why with Russell Simmons sold everything because his attorney said if these look back windows come out, it's going to kill you. Russell sold all of his businesses, all of his homes, gave up everything, and became a resident of Bali. Now you see him start surfacing and showing his face out because why? The look back windows are about to close.
Man.
So he'll probably start coming back to New York more and being a little bit more visible in the US because those windows where his alleged accusers live are slowly closing. So when you look at, they learned from Cosby. Cosby would try, true, and test it. That's why I say we're the only ones. I'm the only one with the formula. I know what they're gonna do. I know the steps. I know the process what they're gonna go through to go after you. And so they said, well, we can't bring white women out against Diddy. Well, now everybody wants to get paid. We'll use their own women against them. We'll use, because we got a lot of angry black women out here today. So we're going to use their own against them. We don't need white women no more. We got the formula. All we need is to turn up the frequency. Once I turn up the frequency, I got something that Michael Jackson, I didn't have for Michael Jackson. Tom Mesereau, Michael Jackson attorney, we were talking about this. I got something that I didn't have for Robert Kelly. I didn't have social media at that time. I got social media now. And social media, black people, it was created to take black people away from current events of the day. It was created to take black people away from being educated and reading and studying the facts of something. No, if social media said it happened, it got to be true.
Right.
So they fan the flame and they wave the fire in Diddy's face. They just waved a little flame, a match, and they said, "Hey, do you want this match to be turned up, and we just put some propane near it, and it's gonna blow, or do you want us to blow it out and make this go away?" And they blew the match out with the
Right.
settlement.
Now, is there any coincidence? You're naming a lot of people: Michael Jackson, Diddy, Bill Cosby. You're naming all these prominent, rich black men. Diddy billionaire, Cosby on his way, if not a billionaire. Is there any coincidence that they're going after these black men that are wealthy, rich, famous, and influential? Is there any coincidence
No,
there?
no, it's by design.
Right.
Look, if you study the history of America and you study the history of, whether you read the Holy Scriptures or not, if you
Mhm.
study the history, you know, we are a powerful race. We are a powerful people. The way you take our education away, they figure it out. You destroy our iconic figures.
Right.
And if you destroy, no matter what you think about Diddy, Diddy has put out a lot of hits. And no matter what you think about it, no matter what you think about it, how you feel about Bill Cosby changed the way television was done. He
Mhm.
changed the way we looked at ourselves. No matter what you think about R. Kelly made the greatest anthem that everybody plays at a wedding or even a funeral. I believe I can fly.
Hmm.
Whether you look at Michael Jackson, when you buy the Beatles catalog and then Eminem says something negative about you in a rap song and you go buy his catalog, and every time he sings that song, you make money off of him. Look, that's power. That's power. And when a black man encompasses that type of power, but it's not just the power, it's the intellect.
Mm.
It's the intellect. Look, Mr. Cosby always said to me, he said, Andrew, it's never going to end with me. They're never going to stop. They
Wow.
started with me. He said, he said, there won't be any generational wealth because everything I built, they're going to take away. And he said, what I'm hoping and praying for is the writing. He said, your book, um, and the writings that's going to be memorialized when I'm gone, and people hopefully will read the writings. And hopefully they will say, look, this guy tried. He tried to show us something. He tried to get us to believe in ourselves. And he stated to me, so you always said um, in your interviews that Jay-Z, Obama, Michael Jordan, you guys better be careful because you're next.
Oh.
And he said, look, it's happening. Everything you tried to warn them, because he said when America, and he said what I'm talking about is white America. When white America saw that blacks don't support each other and come and fight alongside
Mm.
the person that's being victimized, then they said, hey, we got the winning ticket. But he said, look, as long as they they can incarcerate you, they can take away all the material things, they can even take away your money. But one thing they can't take away is your intellect. And as long as you have your intelligence, you can always make money and you can always generate material things. And he said the way they're taking our intellect away is by destroying our legacies. And that's what's happening today. And we are allowing it to happen. It's not what they're doing to us, is what we're not doing.
Right.
We always want to say, oh, they're doing this to us. No, it's what we're not doing. Imagine if you guys sat around and say and complain all the time. No, you say, you know what? We're going to create a platform, Hip Hop Uncensored. Hip Hop Uncensored. I endorse Hip Hop Uncensored. You know, I tell every, you know, every celebrity. I've told George Wallace, the comedian George Wallace, we're dear friends. Bill Bellamy and I, dear friends. Man, you got to go on Hip Hop Uncensored. Bill and I, we've been knowing each other for 25 years. If I need to open up any door, if I need to get you an interview, I will, because I want to see Hip Hop Uncensored, get the big names. I don't want nothing from you. I just want you to keep spreading the intellect.
Appreciate that.
Yes, definitely.
And that's genuine. We can attest to that behind the cameras very much so. Thank you very much for that, Mr. Wyatt. I got a question for the other side, right? Because we always try to keep it neutral on this platform.
Mhm.
The other side is, okay, why does it always got to be a conspiracy? Some men are just creeps. What if they did do it? What if they are guilty? Why is there always an excuse? We hear that often, right? So I want to be respectful to that side as well and ask you, what if? What if Diddy did do this and he's trying to hush her up? Don't women deserve the same rights as men do? This is what we hear a lot. And it's true, of course. What would you say to that in this situation?
In this situation, I say that's why we have a constitution. That's why we have a statute of limitation. The statute of limitation is in the Constitution to protect all parties, to protect the victim and to protect the person that's accused. And if somebody does something to you, you report it. I don't care how powerful a person is, how fearful you might be, you report it. Look, I have a daughter. She's my only child. She went to the University of Alabama. She graduated with Jalen Hurt from UA. My daughter, at the height of all this stuff, the New York Post gave out her cell number to supporters of the accusers and some of the accusers. People threatened her on the campus. They were going to rape her and all this stuff because your dad is supporting a rapist or whatever.
Wow.
Um, I, I'm speaking from the vantage point of saying I do believe bad things happen to women. I know that happens every day. Um, a lot of these guys uh, have done some heinous things to women, but we can't go to the court of public opinion to wage a war and accuse someone of doing a crime against us. We have law enforcement, we have authorities we could report that to. Now, if nobody's listening, then you go to your village. You go to the people in your village and say, I got brothers. Faison Love is a good friend of mine. He said, man, let me tell you something. We need to create a movement called Us Too. And let our sisters come to us and say some guy did something to them. And we'll go and check them and knock on their door. And we'll
Right.
bring the justice.
There you go.
I truly believe that somebody right now, some woman right now is being victimized. And but I would say to those people, I'm not out here saying that. I never said on your show that from all the guys I work with, from R. Kelly to Bill Cosby, you name it, to Peter Nygaard, the fashionaire